If you're wondering which soundbars for gaming are worth your money, stick around. After we run through each product, I'll give you my personal take. Would I buy it or would I skip it? No fluff, just my honest opinion. Let's get into it.
TCL S55H. This thing gets surprisingly loud for a little guy and packs Dolby Atmos, so you can hear that enemy sniper reloading from a mile away. In theory. However, the HDMI latency is so high you will probably be dead before you even hear the gunshot, and the Atmos sounds less like it's above you and more like it's just slightly higher up in the front, since it's only a 2.1 channel system. Would I buy it? No, because in a competitive shooter, hearing things a split second late is a death sentence, and that audio delay is a complete deal breaker for me.
Vizio SV510X08. Unlike the TCL, this Vizio actually comes with friends. Two tiny satellite speakers that do a decent job of putting sounds around you, so you will not get flanked like a total noob. Too bad the subwoofer has more punch than actual rumble, and the Atmos performance is so weak it's like trying to hear a pin drop in a hurricane. Plus, the satellite cables look like they would snap if you looked at them the wrong way. Would I buy it? Maybe, if I was on a tight budget and played games where hearing someone sneak up behind me is more important than feeling explosions rattle my teeth.
Vizio SL512X-08. This one has a party trick with little rotating speakers that pop up for Atmos, and it has even been called awesome for gaming, which is a pretty bold claim. Those rotating speakers are mostly for show though, because the height effects are so underwhelming that above you just means kinda near the top of your television, and you will miss that deep bass for the big epic booms in your games. Would I buy it? No, I am not paying for a gimmick, and if I want things to sound like they're above me, I will just buy a soundbar that can actually do that without the silly theatrics.
Samsung HWQ700C. Finally, a soundbar with actual up-firing drivers and a subwoofer that delivers some serious low-end rumble. This thing will make your neighbor think you have started an illegal underground rave during your gaming session. It gets loud enough to fill a large room, but if you crank it to the max, it starts to compress the audio, and it still will not give you that super deep, thumpy sub-bass that makes you feel like you're in an earthquake. Would I buy it? Yes, because it gives you crystal clear dialogue for all the story bits and enough bass and decent Atmos to make the explosions feel impactful without needing a whole home theater setup.
Sonos Beam Gen 2. The Beam is like the smart kid in class. Its positional audio is so good for gaming it feels like cheating, and its TruePlay software tunes the sound perfectly to your garbage-filled gaming room. It is great at telling you where sounds are coming from as long as they are in front of you, because anything behind you is a complete mystery. And on its own, it has about as much deep bass, with response only down to about 55 Hz, as a laptop speaker. Would I buy it? Maybe, if I mostly played racing games or single-player adventures where frontal immersion is key, but I would have to sell a kidney to afford the separate subwoofer to get any real bass out of it.
Sony HT2000. I'm not gonna lie, for the price, this thing punches way above its weight, with surprisingly clear dialogue and Dolby Atmos support that makes explosions go goom. But its virtual surround sound feels more like a suggestion than a reality. And with no Wi-Fi, you're stuck plugging things in like it's 2005. Would I buy it? Maybe, if my wallet was crying and I just needed a basic upgrade for my TV's sad little speakers, but I wouldn't expect to be blown away.
Sonos Arc. This bar makes in-game dialogue so crisp and clear, you can practically hear your enemy's prayers before you obliterate them, thanks to its 11 drivers firing sound in every direction. The problem is, it only has one HDMI port, which is a huge pain in the ass for anyone with more than one console, and its bass is a bit limp unless you shell out for the separate subwoofer. Would I buy it? No, because having only one HDMI port for gaming is a joke, and I'm not paying extra for bass that should have been there in the first place.
Sony Bravia Theater Bar 6. This soundbar is nice and compact, has super low latency so there's no annoying audio lag while gaming, and the dedicated subwoofer gives you some punchy bass. However, the Dolby Atmos height effect is so weak it's barely noticeable, and the surround sound is all virtual, so you don't get that true immersive feeling of being surrounded. Would I buy it? No, because if I'm paying for an Atmos soundbar, I want to feel like a helicopter is actually flying over my head, not like a fly is buzzing around the ceiling.
Samsung Q990F. This absolute unit creates a ridiculous hemisphere of sound with its 16 different audio channels, and the bass is so powerful it will shake the pictures off your neighbor's wall during intense firefights. Honestly, it's hard to find a flaw, but it's so precise that it might actually reveal how bad the sound design is in some of your favorite games, which could ruin them forever. Would I buy it? Yes, this thing is the final boss of soundbars. It's got HDMI 2.1 for your next-gen consoles, and the sound is so immersive it's practically a cheat code.
JBL Bar 1300X. I love that you can just detach the wireless surround speakers and put them behind you for a real-deal surround sound experience without any stupid gables. And the 12-inch subwoofer delivers bass so deep it feels illegal. But, and this is a huge but, it has no HDMI 2.1 support, which is a massive fumble for a gaming soundbar. It means you can't get the best performance out of your PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X. Would I buy it? No, because releasing a high-end gaming soundbar in this day and age without HDMI 2.1 is like selling a sports car that's permanently stuck in second gear.
Razer Leviathan V2 Pro. This thing pumps out some seriously beefy, bass-forward sound that's perfect for feeling every explosion, and the controls are dead simple to use when you're in the middle of a game. But, and this is a big but, I've had this annoying crackling sound pop up, especially in quieter moments, which for a $400 soundbar is just not on. It's like having a mosquito in your ear that you just can't swat. Would I buy it? Maybe. The 3D audio with head tracking is some next-level wizardry that can feel like you're wearing a headset, but the risk of getting one with that cursed crackling noise makes me hesitate to throw down that much cash.
Red Dragon GS560 RGB. I was honestly shocked by how clear and balanced this little guy sounds. For the price, it's a huge step up from your crappy monitor speakers, and the RGB lights that dance to the game's audio are a ridiculously fun touch for any setup. Don't expect it to shake your fillings out though. The bass is pretty tame, so it's more of a polite rumble than an earth-shattering kaboom when things go boom. Would I buy it? Yes. For what you're paying, it's a steal that gives you decent audio and a fun light show, making it a no-brainer for a budget gaming rig.
Klipsch Flexus Core 200. The sound on this is super balanced, and dialogue in games comes through crystal clear thanks to its dedicated center channel, which is awesome for story-heavy games where you actually need to hear what people are saying. The big letdown here is the lack of HDMI 2.1 pass-through, so if you're a console gamer wanting that sweet 4K resolution at 120 Hz, you're pretty much screwed and have to plug directly into your TV. Would I buy it? Maybe. It's a fantastic value and sounds more refined than it has any right to for the price, but as a gamer, that missing HDMI 2.1 is a real kick in the nuts.
LG S95AR. This beast creates a mind-blowing 9.1.5 channels of sound with actual upward-firing speakers for real-deal Dolby Atmos, making you feel like helicopters are actually flying over your head. It's wild. The catch is that while it passes through 4K at 120 Hz video signals for gaming, it doesn't support full HDMI 2.1 bandwidth, so you're stuck with 8-bit color, which is a bit of a bummer if you're a pixel-peeping graphics whore. Would I buy it? Yes. The sheer immersion from its surround sound is so damn good for gaming that it's easy to forgive the minor video pass-through limitation. It's like having a cinema in your living room.
Sony Bravia Theater Bar 9. Sony's Magic creates this huge bubble of sound that feels like it's coming from all around you, even from above, and it's got proper HDMI 2.1 pass-through, so your PS5 or Xbox can run at 4K resolution and 120 Hz without a problem. However, the bass by itself is a bit wimpy for a bar this expensive. You'll really want to fork over more cash for the matching subwoofer to get that proper room-shaking impact during intense gaming sessions. Would I buy it? Yes. If you've got deep pockets, this thing is an absolute monster for gaming, creating an incredibly immersive and open soundstage that makes you feel like you're literally inside the game.
Samsung HWQ990D. This beast delivers mind-blowing Dolby Atmos that fills the room with such precise 3D audio, you'll be ducking from virtual bullets like you're in the Matrix. However, the bass can be more of a blunt woof than a detailed rumble. And its dedicated game mode is so bad, you are better off pretending it does not exist. Would I buy it? Yes, the 4K 120Hz pass-through is a non-negotiable for next-gen console gaming, making the immersive sound a massive win.
Samsung HW-Q930D. I found this to be a super well-rounded bar with a simple setup and fantastic features for gaming, offering a balanced sound right out of the box that works with pretty much any audio format you throw at it. The downside is that the Dolby Atmos height channels can sound a bit small and artificial, like the sound is coming from a cramped space, and some users even called the whole experience boxy. Would I buy it? Maybe. It is a solid choice if you want great features and don't mind a slightly less immersive experience than its pricier sibling.
TCL Q85H. Playing games with this thing is a genuinely revolutionary change. It makes everything so visceral and immersive that my expensive gaming headset now sounds like a toy. The audio modes actually make a difference here, but its wireless options are basically just for Apple users, leaving Android folks with plain old Bluetooth and no Chromecast support. Would I buy it? Yes, because this thing has absolutely spoiled me with its punchy bass and incredible gaming audio that feels like it should cost way more.
Nakamichi Shockwave Ultra 9.2. With 2 subwoofers and 4 separate satellite speakers, this setup is pure overkill, creating an amazingly accurate soundstage where you can pinpoint every little noise around you. Be warned though, out of the box, it's so dark and boomy that the bass completely overpowers everything else, forcing you to dive into the settings to make it usable. Would I buy it? Maybe, if you love bass that rattles your teeth and have enough room for what feels like a full home theater system, but get ready to become an audio engineer to balance the sound.
Polk Audio Signa S4. For its price, the Signa S4 does a damn good job faking a Dolby Atmos experience, and its dialogue enhancement feature makes sure you never miss a line of trash talk from your opponents. But that budget price comes at a cost, as it lacks any real low bass rumble for explosions, and it downmixes surround sound into stereo, which is just not immersive at all. Would I buy it? No, because while it's a great value, having it fake surround sound by downmixing to stereo is a huge letdown for gaming and a deal breaker for me.
Thanks for watching. I hope this video helped you pick the soundbars for gaming for you. If you have any questions, drop a comment below. Links to all of these products mentioned in this video will be in the description.